All right, I'm going to take you on a tour of the bars and lounges on Icon of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's current largest ship. So we're going to show you a little video of all these and where they are. Some of them are not really bars. They're more like, you know, venue areas with a bar in them, but I'll show you those anyway. Like, for example, the dueling pianos is where they do the piano bar. It's just a bar in the corner, whereas Point and Feather is a proper bar per se. But you'll see that as we go around. So again, I'm going to show you some video of each area. I'm not showing you the menus. If you go online, they are everywhere, and they're very good websites out there showing you the menus in all of these bars, but it would make the video so complicated. But we're going to start you up on deck 4 with the casino bar, and first the music hall. This is actually down on deck 3, so you kind of walk through 4 to go down to 3 would be the most common way to get here. But this is where the rock band would play, and they do some other events in here as well, but primarily this is where the rock band will play. That's the stage right there. This is the upper level. This is on deck 4, so there's another bar up here. Again, this is more of a venue bar than a bar, but here a bar, there a bar, everywhere a bar. But I thought I'd show you this anyway. So that's looking down into it. And then you can see just in the distance there, we're going to go next. The casino is right next to it. And this is the casino bar. They actually have machines at the bar, as you can see. It reminds me of Vegas. And like I said earlier, if you actually go online and do a search for bar menus, Icon of the Seas, there's several websites that have very detailed lists, very helpful, but it just would have made this a very cluttered video. So I want to try and keep this clean. So, and the menus change and prices change. So next we're going to go to deck 5, and we're going to show you a couple of places here. Starbucks is the first one we're going to show you. Now, I don't drink coffee, but I was told you can use your app to pay for drinks here. You cannot use your loyalty points, but you can use your app. And then we have what's called the 1400 bar. This is more of a specialist cocktail bar. They do have beers in there as well. But this, again, is kind of midship on deck 5 in what they call the Royal Promenade. Very popular bar this was every evening. Again, more specializing in cocktails, but they do beers as well. And wine, obviously. And just next to the 1400 bar will be the only other bar really on deck 5. And this is the Point and Feather. This is the what they call an English pub, but it had a dartboard, as I'll show you, but there wasn't much else really English about it. But it was probably my favorite bar on the ship. I spent a lot of time here. They actually had Grosh in this bar. And they had a solo acoustic musician playing most nights. The bartenders were awesome. And just around the corner here, we'll show you in a second, they had a couple of dartboards. But I will say this, they need to replace them. They're a little bit worn, and I shall leave it at that, as you're about to see. Yes, slightly overused, they would say. So this is the Point and Feather. Again, this is midship on deck 5. Always very busy, open most of the day. But again, I'm not really going to give you hours because they vary so much on different ships and from cruise to cruise. So this is just more where they are. Now we're going to go up to deck 6, and I'm going to show you a few bars up here. We're going to start with Playmakers at the aft end, and we're going to go see the Schooner Bar, Bolero, the Dueling Pianos, and the Attic. The Attic is the comedy club, but we'll show you in there anyway. So this is Playmakers. This is really the sports bar, and this is where you would also go to watch the ice show. So at the back of here is the ice rink. So plenty of games to play in here. They are not free. I think they're around about $2 or $2.50 to play each time. So they were not free by any means. One thing I noticed about a lot of the bars, and I'll show you a close-up in a second, they actually have USB ports around all the bars at various places. So if you need to charge your phone while you're having a drink, that's a great addition. And this actually, when they do kick out from the aqua show, from the ice show, sorry, not the aqua show, the ice show, this can get very crowded while people are walking out. So it's kind of a narrow walkway. But this is the owner's box. You can rent this for a private party. On this ship, it was like $300, I think, and you got 3 hours. You got a couple of pitchers of beer, some wings and stuff like that. but fun if you wanted to have a little party in there while you're on board. I mean, that 300 is on a regular day. I'm sure for things like the Super Bowl, the price would go up. And they do food in here as well. I've done a separate video on the restaurants. There's one of those USB ports, so you can get a more in-depth look at the food that they offer. But a nice big bar, plenty of screens to watch all the sports. And there's another one of the USB areas. So that's a very nice touch. It's a very well designed ship overall, and I've said this many times since I've been making videos. It was my first royal cruise, and it will not be my last, that I can promise you. So that's the Playmakers bar. This is at the back of deck 6. And we're going to head more to the center of deck 6. And first we're going to show you Boleros. This was the Latin theme bar, and they'll have Latin music up here at times. Now, I did notice on all of deck 6 they have different bands playing in different bars, but they didn't tend to overlap because the sound carries. So it would really only be one bar at a time, which is a smart move. At this bar was busy, but it wasn't as busy as some of the others. None of the bars were overly busy. I mean, you would think on a ship this big, you would have to wait to get served everywhere. I don't remember waiting more than 2 or 3 minutes once on the entire ship, on the entire cruise, sorry. So again, that is Boleros, and right opposite, you'll see the Schooner bar. And every now and then they'd have a pianist playing in here. This is more of a relaxed type of environment in this bar. And again, similar to the Boleros, it was not usually that busy. It was busy, but not that busy. But that could differ from cruise to cruise, so you can't gauge that on one cruise. But you could always get a seat, and it was a good place to come to watch some of the shows they did down on the Royal Promenade, because you could look over this barrier here, and you're straight down there to see everything. That's Boleros dead opposite. So that's the Schooner bar. And then at the opposite end, we have dueling pianos. So again, this is more of a venue than a bar, but there's the bar right there. So if you're doing a pub crawl, this needs to be part of it, I will say that. And there's the 2 pianos. Now, they didn't play that much. They did a lot of other things in here. I added up for the week. They worked 15 hours. Well, they played for 15 hours total over the whole week. So it's not a huge amount of time. So if you're interested in the piano bar, check the schedule. And then dead opposite there was what they call the attic, which is also the comedy club. See, the dueling pianos is right there. This is the attic. And again, not really a bar. It's more somewhere you would go in here, sit to watch the show. They did a couple of other things in here as well, obviously. And then you would order a drink. So there isn't really a bar to go to per se, that I saw anyway. So this is the comedy club, the attic as they call it. And this is forward on deck 6. And now I head to the back of deck 7. This is kind of like the children's playground, but there's one bar called the Lemon Post. It was in the bottom left-hand corner there. And clearly it's a lemon-themed bar, so lots of drinks with lemons in them. Julie, my wife, enjoyed this bar. I did not, because it's green and yellow, and that's my soccer rivals, football rivals to me, soccer to you, playing green and yellow. So rules dictate I was not allowed to drink at this bar. It was hard enough taking video, but I had to include all the bars. So that's the Lemon Post on the back of deck 7. Lots of fruity drinks you'll get there. Now, Central Park is on deck 8. We're going to show you a few little places on here. You've got Lou's Jazz and Blues, you've got Bubbles, and you've got the Trellis Bar. So first we'll show you Lou's Jazz and Blues. This is another one of those which is more of a venue with a bar in it, but I just want to show you what it looks like inside. This is kind of midship on deck 8. This is also where Chops, Izumi, and the Empire Supper Club are, on this little area here. Again, they'll be on my restaurant video. But this is inside the bar. Again, this is Lou's Jazz and Blues Bar. I did not go in here during the week, so much to do on this ship, I just didn't have time. So I don't know how crowded this bar got. So that's Lou's Jazz and Blues bar. And now this is Bubbles. This is more like a champagne wine bar. So you can see it all lined up back there. You could come in here and get your bubbly drinks. Again, I did not use this bar. I don't typically drink champagne or even wine. But there's a little price list there of what they do. They do a Bellini and a couple of little special mixed drinks there. But primarily it's a champagne bar. And then lastly, we have the trellis bar. This is where you would probably want to come if you were going to dinner at Chops or Izumi and you wanted to get a drink before dinner. This would be the place to go. Very friendly bartender, as you could see, and all sorts of different drinks lined up there. So that's pretty much it for Deck 8. And again, this is all midship Deck 8. Now we're going to go up to the Vitality Spa. This is on Deck 14 because you've got cabins pretty much between here and there. There's a quick look at the menu that they have there. Obviously geared more on the healthy side because the Vitality at Sea is the spa. So it's more of a juice bar than anything. So here's a look at it. They are open a decent amount of time. They're open quite late. So again, that's the Vitality Bar on Deck 14 forward. Now we're Deck 15 forward now. We're going to go, this is the Aquadome area where they do the water show, which I thoroughly recommend. But we're going to take a look at the Overlook Bar and the Ryan Bean, which is the coffee. This is the Overlook Bar here. We're just going to pan down at it right now. You can see why it's called the Overlook, the amazing views you get. And they got some great seating areas here if you get the chance to grab any of them. Just out of shot to my left, there are actually seating areas raised up, but they're very popular. Get there early to get them. We went to this bar a couple of times. Very friendly bartenders. Lots of different drink choices. See those areas up? Look like raised areas behind here. They're actually seating areas you can go grab. Up on the right there, you can just see one. But nice comfy seats here. And again, most of the times we came here, there were open seats for us to sit in. You would think that this would be packed out all the time, with especially with the view you get. Just grab a drink and watch the sun go down or what have you. But yeah, it's great. Now this is the coffee, the Ryan Bean. Not Ryan, the Rye and Bean. This is the coffee shop. Quick look at some of the prices. I don't like to post prices too much because they can change from day to day. But this was as of August 2024. And that is where they do the Aqua Show. Again, both the Aqua Show and the Ice Show were amazing. All right, now we're going to head up to the middle of Deck 15. Where we have the first of the lime and coconut bars. There are 3 of these, well 4 if you look at it one way, but they are on Deck 15, 16 and 17, kind of different drinks in each bar. But this is the theme that they have, the lime and coconut. This is one of 2 on Deck 15, and there's another one I'll show you briefly that's on the opposite side. So this is the main bar on Deck 15, and almost directly behind it on the other side of the ship, as we're looking now, there's a smaller area right there on the right. We're going to pan around and show it to you in a second. I kind of forgot to do this on my bar. I did a separate tour for the full ship tour and the bar tour, and I forgot to do this on the bar tour. So that's an extra of my full walking around the ship tour. And also they have, this is the Cantina Fresca. This is right next to the Mexican area. The El Loco Fresh, and that is the El Loco Fresh right there. So you have a bar as well as the restaurant. And then lastly up here we have the Hideaway. This is the adult area. It's actually down on Deck 15, but you have to enter really through Deck 16. This is the main entrance in there. and then you're literally going to walk down to deck 15. This is for adults only. So again, this is the area called the Hideaway, and the bar we're going to head to is straight ahead. So we're up on deck 16 really here, but we're going to head down to deck 15. And this is the Hideaway pool. And I said this in all my videos, just be aware of just how crowded this gets. There's only a couple of areas on this ship that I don't feel were big enough, and this is definitely one of them. It was packed in here every single time I looked at it. Standing room only, literally. And those day beds, you can hire them, and if you do, you check in at the Hideaway bar, but note there is no shade whatsoever. So if it's a hot day, which is likely to be on these itineraries, you will be exposed to the sun 24/7. But this is the Hideaway bar right here. It's a decent sized bar, as you're about to see. There you go. And we actually did not go to this bar because every time we went down there, the actual pool and the other areas were just so crowded. We didn't come down. So I don't know how busy this bar got, but it looks like a decent sized bar. I'm sure you'd be able to get a table, if nothing else. Nice shade there. And if you're wondering, this was when we were by the private island. Perfect day at Coco Cay in the distance. Right, now we're going to show you base camp and the milkshake area. This is the base camp bar. It's not really an advertised bar, it's a restaurant, but the bar is right there. And there's the base camp restaurant. We're looking back where that TV camera is on the right. But if you walk just past here, you're going to see the milkshake area. So here's where you can get milkshakes, and you can add adult beverage to them if you so wish. They range in price from $7 for a basic drink up to $18 for the Mexican one, which Julie got with a piñata. So this is where they would make them. Again, and these are not part of the drink package, but there are your choices. The one at the very top, we actually get to keep that piñata, and we still have it in the house somewhere, was $18. All the way down to your floats and your classic shakes. The floats were like $7. But you can add liquor to any of them for an additional $5. At least that was the prices when we were on board. I have to keep stressing that. All right, so that's the milkshake bar. It's called Deserted. And there's the menu, really briefly. So I did include one menu for you. How's that? You can freeze and zoom in. And then we're going to head up to deck 16 at the back. And we're going to show you then another lime and coconut. Now, if you have one of the casitas, this is where you would check in for your casita. You have to check in at 8:30 in the morning, first come, first served. We actually had one on this cruise, and we went to 8, which was a good choice. This is more midship than anything else, actually. But this is where you would go for that, and this is another one of the lime and coconuts. This is the swim and tonic. This is the swim up bar. This is just behind where we just were. You see the casitas on the right with the orange and the green and the yellow there and the blue. They're the casitas. This was another one of the areas that I felt wasn't quite large enough. It got very, very crowded and busy because swim up bars are a very attractive thing to do. So just be warned of that. And now up on deck 17, we have the last of the lime and coconuts. Here it is, another little smaller one. So that pretty much covers all of the bars. I do want to show you one more thing when we're finished showing you this pan up and down here, because around the ship they had 5 or 6 different Coke stations where they're pretty impressive actually. And I'll show you in a second. Now, So this ends up with a coconut, lime and coconut on deck 17. And now we're going to head, we're not going to head anywhere. I'm just going to show you one of them, but they're spread around the ship. That's the swim up bar on the opposite side there. But right here we have the machines. Now you need a special cup for this. I'll show you a picture in a second. If you have the drink package, you get one for free. So you basically select one of those. When you select like Coke, it will give you all the different flavors of Coke, and you can choose whatever flavor you want, and it will fill your cup up. Very, very good. These are the cups you get for free if you're part of the drink package, or if you haven't got one, go to the bar and ask. You can't just put any cup in there, unfortunately. And then this is just one last picture showing you the different choices of sodas you can get. It's Coke, not Pepsi, as you note. All right, so that covers the bars and lounges on Icon of the Seas. We covered them all there pretty much. Oh, or did we? What's that in the bottom at the middle? The Spotlight Karaoke. Did we forget that? Which is really weird for me, because anybody that knows me knows how much I love karaoke. Or is there method to my madness? Am I going to leave you with a special ending to this video? I don't know. Let's find out. First of all, I'm going to show you a look at the Spotlight Karaoke area. There's the bar. So it's kind of a bar within a venue as well. Yeah, this is where you'll get up and sing your karaoke songs. I wonder if I did any karaoke this week.
Sorry, USA.
There's been 4 really good songs in a row. I grew up with this song.
Oh, he knows something different.
I hopped off the plane at LAX with a dream of my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame excess. And I'm big in. Jumped in the hand, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. So crazy, everybody seems so famous. My tummy's turning out, I'm feeling kind of homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the taxi man turned on the radio and the Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. So I put my hands up, played my song, and the butterflies fly away. Yeah, it's a party in the USA. Yeah, it's a party in the USA. It's a club with taxi cab, everybody's looking at me now.
for Mick. I love how
Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.